Today I'm testing Remington WheelGun 22LR through my usual lineup, along with a revolver test to see how it handles what it's actually named for.
Whoa, that dropped about a good 4 inches south. Alright, well, hell is going on with this. Well, folks, we're out with an impromptu setup. What you just saw, we know that it's not going to group worth of crap at 50 yards. Like CCI Quiet 22, that's 710 feet per second. This is 770. Well, it's Remington, so it's probably not as close as the CCI was. We're going to throw it through the CZ457, 25 yards. See how it groups. First 5, we're going to have to see how we, if we have to adjust the scope. Lord only knows where it'll hit. Okay.
1.22 inches, including the first cold bore shot. .01 inches.
Definitely soft.
Tightening up to 0.79 inches. .7 inches. Only a 4-shot group, 0.73 inches.
Huh.
.72 inches. .71 inches.
That last group, all 50 grains. Wow.
.33 inches.
That group was all 50.1.
.5 inches at 25 yards.
Alright folks, well, there you have it through the CZ457.
For a 25-yard group average of 0.74 inches.
Next up, we'll be running the 1022. We'll see if this stuff cycles through the bolt, whether we have to manually cycle it. As the weights increased, the groups got better. We'll have to check that out. Alright folks, impromptu setup, as you saw with the CZ457. No way of grouping at 50 yards. 25 yards it tightened up, actually kind of better than I figured it would, but it's Remington. Anyway, got the 20-inch kid barrel. Let's see if length makes a difference. Hopefully we're not getting a rod and pushing something out. Inner ring. Alright, cycled. Oh. I'm not sure what we got here. I don't think we had enough to feed it. This trigger's a little stiff. New kid 2-stage trigger. Kind of asking, where have you been all my life?
.49 inches.
It is Remington, folks, because I don't know that I've ever had Remington group 4-in-1 like that. It's got enough to eject it, but not enough to feed.
.61 inches.
A little too early to pass judgment. We got 35 more to go. Oh, I did. Huh.
.9 inches.
Wow. Kind of, well, we'll hold judgment, because Murphy will show up. Ah, dang, Meg. Huh, Remington. Oh, Lord.
0.77 inches.
Don't think that had enough to cycle. Nope.
.64 inches.
Oh, nope. Gotta cycle that action quick, I guess. Get it to eject and to feed.
.6 inches. .55 inches. .73 inches. .96 inches.
We'll go down and size up all the groups.
For an overall group average of .69 inches at 25 yards.
Gotta say, I'm surprised. I don't know what to say. Really was not going into this with any kind of good expectation. Be interesting to see how it runs in the TX22, see if it cycles that, and might have a little wheel gun action in the works too.
You've got to shoot wheel gun through a wheel gun.
Broke out the old 1968, it's older than I am by a year, Herder's 6-shot. This was my grandmother's gun for dispatching little varmints outside the house when my grandfather was away. Let's see what we got. Will it fire reliably? What do the velocities look at? Is there something special about a wheel gun? Well, we're getting ready to find out. Alright folks, there you have it. 6 shots of Remington wheel gun through a wheel gun. Alright folks, we're going with Remington wheel gun. Well, it's not a wheel gun. It says 770 muzzle velocity. Well, is that through a wheel gun, which fair to say 5¼ inch barrel? Trying to keep it from going reciprocating. I doubt it will. 25 yards. We're going to see how it does. I'm going to aim about 1.5 inches, 2 inches high. Even though it's lower velocity, we're still going to use Year Pro. Hit there? All right, oh, that does it for Remington's wheel gun. Let's take a look at the velocities. We'll take them apart and see how they do. See you at the garage.
Rated at 770 feet per second, we ran Remington wheel gun through the Kid Barrel 1022, the CZ457, TX22, and a vintage Herder's revolver. Surprisingly, the semi-auto 1022 snuck in with an average of 748, only 3% off that 770, with a high of 797, 4% above. CZ457 chimed in at 788, 2% above the advertised, striking a high of 855, 11% above the advertised, while 721, 6% below the advertised. The TX22 responded respectable numbers, 698, 9% below the average, while hitting a high of 727. And it shot a 652, 15% below, all what we expect from a TX22. Here's a 5-inch barrel of the old school Herder's revolver. This is where things started to get ugly. A low of 482, 37% below the stated 770, averaging 561, 27% below. But it could only muster 641, 17% below, all well below that stated 770. This is wheelgun, folks, and it only got uglier. SD of 26 through 48, the worst being in the revolver. The extreme spread of 75 to the TX22, again, compared to the 159 from the revolver. It's wheelgun. How many times do we have to say it? If you're going to design the round, make it worth the while, not the worst performer. We broke down 8 rounds of Remington wheelgun because with Remington, when you have their inconsistency, you have to look at the big picture. Overall, from a low of 49.17 to a high of 50.59, a 1.42 grain variation. Rim thickness checked in with 0.010 of an inch. That's pretty consistent. With a light wax coating, this advertised 39 grain truncated. It kind of looks like it was pulled from a crayon box. The bullet, well, you saw the big difference there, 38.4 to 39.6, a 1.2 grain variation. Uniform size, the flake disc-like powder was surprisingly consistent with just over a grain variation. Building consistency was evident in lines 6 and 7. Both had a powder of 0.79 grains, but looking at the case weight, 9.94 to 10.31, 0.37 grain difference that we saw. This would be attributed to an incomplete priming compound application. After testing Remington WheelGun 22LR through several different platforms, I think this ammo tells a pretty clear story. Accuracy at 25 yards was better than I expected, especially through the rifles. The 10-22 averaged right around 0.68 inches at 25 yards. The CZ457 staying respectable as well. So despite some of the chronograph numbers, this ammo can still shoot. Velocity, consistency though, definitely wasn't the strong point here. Standard deviations were higher than I'd like to see across most of the platforms. And the revolver especially showed just how soft this load really is. The velocity consistency is directly related to the build quality. A soft round like this needs all the help and consistency that it can get. That said, I do think Remington accomplished what this ammo was probably designed to do. It's soft shooting, noticeably subdued, and clearly geared more towards quiet revolver-style shooting than precision or maximum performance. So if you're looking for ultra-consistent match-grade ammo, this probably isn't it. But if your goal is relaxed plinking, lower report, and something a little different for revolvers for casual shooting, I can definitely see the appeal. Wheelgun may not be for everybody, but I do think Remington built it with a very specific purpose in mind. So I'd be curious to hear how this ammo performs in your setup. I want to hear from you. What do you want to see tested next? Until next time, Crafty Rimfire 10-7.